You're looking at the gold-rich remains of a mighty ancient river at the poorly named Poverty Hill, although the name might have been a trick to throw people off of a rich gold area. Many millions of years ago, giant rivers coursed through this region of California. As with modern creeks and rivers, these ancient rivers collected gold over time as they cut and eroded their way through the landscape. A landscape that, judging by the tremendous layer of quartz gravel and boulders left behind, 500 feet thick and 1 to 2 miles wide here in front of us, this must have included entire mountains of quartz, shot through with gold. However, the gold in these ancient rivers was never collected. Over time, volcanic activity, shifting tectonic plates, and other geological activity killed these mighty ancient rivers, burying them beneath volcanic flows and shoving their remains up to the top of mountains in some cases. After the first wave of 49ers in the California gold rush cleared out the easy gold in the creeks and rivers of the Sierras, the miners started looking for the source of this gold underground. The individual that figured out that the surrounding mountains hid ancient river channels inside of them has been lost to history, but that discovery must have absolutely blown their mind. They didn't keep it a secret, though, and there was an explosion of activity where miners tried to guess and calculate where the hidden ancient river channels ran around them underground. Often, miners would run adits in too high or too low and would miss the ancient river channels. Or the channel would not be where it was expected because of shifting geology. They certainly didn't miss at Poverty Hill, though. Poverty Hill had underground mining of the rich placer material, hydraulic mining of the placer material, and surface work of the placer material done with a dredge and other heavy equipment. The area that you're seeing now was particularly rich as it was the confluence of two of these ancient rivers of gold. The Kingdon family ended up with this property in the 1800s, and they did well for themselves. They would perhaps continue to be doing well, but in the 1970s, the Forest Service decided that they wanted the aggregates at this site for roads. There are a labyrinth of logging roads around the mine in this whole area. And the Forest Service exerted such extreme pressure on the Kingdons that they were eventually driven off. The pits flooded, and after only a couple of years, the Forest Service abandoned the site. Here's a picture of the Kingdon family out enjoying a picnic at Poverty Hill. This area of the forest below had a number of cabins and homes for the Kingdons and others that worked at this site. They were complete with picket fences and gardens, and from the pictures I've seen and the descriptions I've heard, they were quite nice. This is a picture of one of the Kingdon family homes. The Kingdon family were chasing the gold down toward bedrock, and you can see them working through the river channel in these photos. All of this is underwater now. All of that cool gear and equipment you saw in the preceding pictures, yeah, this is where it is, in front of you, and those bodies of water. That one we just saw and that one beyond, all underwater now. As with many mines, this one was actually publicly traded for a while, and I was able to track down a stock certificate for the mine. I'm out with a great crew today, and it happens to include Mr. McBride, who's just over there right now, who actually gets credit for spotting this tunnel. We've been going up and down the creek looking for it all day. We knew it was here, but we didn't know exactly where, so we've been trolling up and down and eventually found it, thanks to his eyes. Beautiful spot, as you can see. And this is a hydraulic drain tunnel, as I mentioned in the introduction.
comes out there. You can tell that from the water here. That it's got that mine mud iron staining. In contrast, you got the crystal clear water right there, and you got the mine mud water right here. That's how you tell. Now you may have noticed all those metal straps right there. Those are from the sluice that used to run the length of the mine. I didn't explain that. I'm filming this before I've done the voiceover for the introduction, so I'm not sure what I'm going to say in the introduction yet, but they would have these drain tunnels completely filled with sluices the entire length of the way, and those are straps that used to bind the wood in place. So that's what all that metal up there is. That's not the strap rail that we're talking about so often. These are, I can see some remains of the wood, but that is not what this is. You can even see the spikes in it and stuff right here. So that's what that is. So let's get up and take a closer look. I was just over there where my buddy is, and this runs right up the drain tunnel. There's Mr. McBride, fan favorite, back in action. And like I said, credit for finding this goes to him, because he's the one that bushwhacked down here and spotted it. So, first impression?
Interesting. It's square.
Yeah, it is. It's very squared out. Looks like that mud might... There's some mud at the entrance here. It looks like it might thin out a bit.
It's not that bad once you're in the middle part. You see where it's got the sand in it?
Oh, yeah.
That's where you want to be stepping on the sides. So I'll go up a ways and...
You gonna go scout it out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get my waders on and...
It's good. I mean, it's solid, dude. It's like clay, so...
Oh, yeah, right. I'll get my waders on and catch up to you.
Not this stuff on the sides, but the stuff in the middle is really good.
Are there animal tracks in there? Or?
Yeah, there's raccoon. There's a deer track in there.
Raccoon and deer. I'm surprised deer are in there.
And it looks like a bobcat.
Huh.
I don't think... Oh, there's a footprint over here.
Human footprint?
It looked like a boot. Not those, but...
Huh.
I'll let you check it out. Real see it.
Cool. I'll catch up to you.
Okay.
I was shooting out there before, and I've come a little way in, turned the camera on, and as you can see, the drain tunnel runs that way. My friends went in ahead of me while I was getting ready, so let's get in and catch up to them. It's fairly muddy where I am right now. I mean, not too bad. It's not deep. It's just pretty muddy, but maybe up above my ankles, not too bad. And it already looks like it's thinning out a bit, which is cool. The sluicing tunnels don't normally bend, and so Mr. McBride and I were surprised to see how much this one's bending around. It's a very unusual element, because normally they've got the long, straight sluices, not sluices bending around, because of course when it bends, stuff has a tendency to get backed up in it. So I'm not sure if they're a little off and having trouble finding the creek where they want to drain out or what, but this is unusual. I don't know if it's coming across on the camera, but there's a hell of an echo in here just from the water running down. There's sort of this constant background roar. You can see some of the remains of the sluice boxes there. The exceptionally long sluice boxes. There's more. All these bits, all these bits of wood are from the sluices. Now what's interesting is that because the bits of wood are still here and the mud is here, that means that this must be plugged higher up, because in the other drain tunnels we've been, they're scoured absolutely clean from so much water roaring through them. But this must be more just seepage. In other words, it must be seeping in from the lake or the reservoir up above rather than blasting through and scouring everything out. Because otherwise, like I said, all this would be completely gone. As you can see, it's pretty featureless for a while, so I'm going to turn off the camera and go catch up to them and resume there. I was filming from back there, and I've now caught up to Mr. McBride. Right there. This is so unusual, man. We've never seen this before where they're full of mud.
Not like this. This tells me
It's plugged.
Yep.
100% is plugged up there.
I was hoping it wouldn't choke out, you know, before we got to the end. I don't know if that's going to be it or not, but so far it's
Obviously,
the depth, you know, is only about 6
yeah.
inches at most.
But you can see the water line is not very high.
No, so it hasn't had an inundation of water through it at all in who knows how long.
Yeah, and all those bits of wood were still there too.
Exactly. Do you see the size of the drill they use for the anchor points?
Yeah, it's pretty massive.
But no, they're tiny. They're little bitty.
Oh, I saw different stuff then.
Yeah, there's some big ones up here where they're like the glass on the side. They're about, I don't know, about that big around.
Huh.
Little tiny ones.
Interesting. I'm gonna shoot ahead.
Go ahead.
So carrying on, you can see it's got that long, flat, featureless look I was talking about, or not flat, straight, featureless look I was talking about. So this is more normal. As you can see, it is featureless though, so I'm gonna stop talking and just kind of, I'll probably do a high-speed run through here. Caught up to the next buddy. He is continuing on, as you can see. The drain tunnel just keeps going straight forever. A little bench of gravel right here. I bet some people would love to pan that out. It's good looking stuff. And we've come in. This is where Brian's using the carbide lamp right there. We're gonna do a little thing on that if we can find a quiet place to talk.
It widened out pretty well right here, didn't it?
Yeah. And then that's where we came, obviously. So we're gonna keep carrying on until we get to the next interesting thing or to a quiet spot. And those are the drill holes he was talking about, if you heard that earlier. They're pretty small, actually, all things considered. So this is obviously an old tunnel. So we've come from down there, and here with Jake still, and starting to get a little tight here. Sediment starting to build up. Keeps going as far as we can see still, but you can see we're walking down the middle here, and you see there's a pretty good accumulation of stuff on the side. You can see a lot of quartz and ancient river channel placer material in there, and you can see all the wood from the sluice boxes that we're running through here. Lots of bits of metal and things like that around. And see, it's just almost like a gray powder now, but that's what's left of the sluice boxes that used to run through here and made so much money at this mine. This was an incredibly profitable mine. See some of the nails right there. So yeah, we're afraid about stepping on stuff like that too. Runs along this side as well. So it seems like it's sort of split and, you know, kind of down the middle, and some stuff fell to the right, some stuff fell to the right, left, I mean. And that's where we're going. And like I say, it's getting tight. Probably have to start hunching over soon. So we'll see how it goes. That's the direction we've been coming from. You can see Mr. McBride off in the distance coming towards us. Something really cool here is you can see the remains of these sluices that used to run through here. Gives you a sense of their size. That's my buddy Jake right there. He's scouting out ahead, and we're seeing things getting better. You can see that's already up to his butt, basically. The mud, and the shelves actually are higher beyond that. So we might call it here because it's starting to pinch out, and the mud's just getting deeper and deeper. And the oxygen meter's starting to get unhappy too. The water flow's definitely increased. He's let loose some water. But the cool thing here, again, is to emphasize, you see the remains of the sluice here. Those are the sides of it. Those posts tell you how high it was. So that's up to my chin. So they got out a lot of material flowing through here. All right, he's coming back, so it must have gotten even worse. They say he's walking on wood as he's coming back, so he's walking on top of the sluice right now. And he said that when you touch the post, it's like touching jello. We'll get the report when he gets back here. But you see how high the mud's just getting deeper and deeper, and then like I said, the oxygen meter's not happy either. How did it look up there?
It just keeps stepping up and up.
Yeah, I guess deeper and deeper.
There's only like another 100 feet where we could feasibly go.
Oh yeah, it pitches out like we expected.
Well, it gets at least. I don't feel like having that much headroom.
You don't want to have it over your head.
The wood is like we're touching jello wrapped in paper.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, every step I'm just punching through an old sluice box. And luckily I didn't get a nail.
Yeah, yes.
But that one still had some of the framework to it.
Oh,
a lot more nails on it.
Up there?
Yeah, those two.
Yeah, it's interesting how it gets better as we get closer to the source. I guess that makes sense. I guess there would be more pressure on the end than the beginning.
Oh yeah, there's a beam or a piece of wood.
Yeah, you can see the beam.
Shucking off the side, getting ready to flow out. We got a lot of water flowing now out of here.
Yeah, you opened it up a bit.
And yeah, look at that.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's a nice.
Yeah, I broke a pretty big dam right before that dam.
Yeah, it's funny when I was just starting to narrate and like the sound increased dramatically as you.
Look, it's just starting to pull it all off the sides.
Yeah, for sure.
Eroding it out.
I can hear it behind me now too. I don't know if you guys can hear that on the camera, but it's getting noisy behind us too. Cool stuff. So yeah, I'm glad you got a chance to see this because it's really, really rare to see these old sluice boxes. Did you get any mud off the top of that?
Yeah. Oh, then like the wood just comes with it almost.
Oh wow. It is just super soft and it's almost gelatinous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. I wouldn't have done that for me, but better you than me.
Just mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at it. Hauling out now.
Yeah, it's all starting to go.
Probably could just punch through that dam and it'll just clear itself out.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I've been enough to eat. I know they just end at a hole in the ground, basically, where the water drops down. So there's nothing. It's like you get back into any mine features or stopes or anything like that. Look at the mud in here, you guys. This is almost otherworldly or volcanic or something. That's crazy. It's flowing all through here. That's not us kicking that up. That's how it's normally flowing out of here. It's like a miniature Grand Canyon in here. We're on our way out now and spotted some cave crickets on the way out. And so for those of you that don't know what cave crickets look like, well, now you do. See them crawling around down there? Can you put your hand up next to her or something so I can see?
The biggest one I can see.
So yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah, good stuff. Okay.